Have you ever gotten home from a shopping trip, looked at something you bought, and just thought, why? Why did I buy that? You probably think of yourself as a pretty rational person, right? You weigh the pros and cons, but what if I told you that most of your buying decisions are actually made before your conscious brain even gets a say? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden sensory tricks brands use to influence what you buy.
Okay, let's just kick things off with a number that is kind of staggering. According to a professor at Harvard Business School, a whopping 95% of our purchasing decisions happen in our subconscious. Yep, you heard that right. Almost every single choice you make in a store is being driven by feelings and instincts you're not even aware of.
And that really leads us to the big question, doesn't it? If we're not consciously making these calls, then who is? Well, the truth is, brands have gotten incredibly good at finding a backdoor to our brains. They've learned how to bypass our rational side and talk directly to our emotions.
So here's the game plan. We're going to take a quick tour through our senses. First, we'll look at what's happening inside your brain when you shop. Then we'll break down how brands use sight, sound, and smell to persuade you. And most importantly, we'll wrap up with how you can take back the reins. So why this big focus on our senses? It's actually pretty simple. When it comes down to it, our purchases are almost always driven by feelings. Desire, nostalgia, even a little bit of fear. And our senses, they're like a direct, unfiltered superhighway to the emotional part of our brain. The part that's really calling the shots. Let's start with our eyes, the sense we lean on the most. We get something like 70% of all our information about the world through sight. So, of course, it's the #1 target for marketers. And their weapon of choice? Color.
Just look at this contrast right here. Ever wonder why fast food giants like McDonald's or Coca-Cola splash red absolutely everywhere? It's because red has been proven to actually stimulate our appetite and create a sense of urgency. On the flip side, you've got blue, banks, tech companies. They love blue because it makes us feel trust and security. Believe me, none of this is an accident.
And if you think this is just a subtle thing, get a load of this study. It's wild. People were shown the exact same television, but some saw it on a blue background and others saw it on a red one. The results? It's crazy. People thought the TV on the blue background was worth $458. The one on red? Just $314. A simple color swap changed its perceived value by almost 50%. All right, next up, hearing. This is the sense that never clocks out. You can shut your eyes, but you can't really shut your ears. They're always on, always listening. And you better believe brands use this to their advantage, cooking up audio experiences that are designed to get stuck in your head. Listen to that. That's the sound of Kellogg's cornflakes. And that crunch was no happy accident. It's the result of years and years of sound engineering. Kellogg's literally designed that specific sound to create a totally unique sensory experience, one that's made generations of people loyal, you could even say addicted, to their cereal. It's their sonic signature. But it gets even more direct. In one famous experiment, a supermarket played French music in the wine aisle on some days and German music on others. The results were just wow. When French music was playing, French wine outsold German wine 3-1. When they switched to German music, the exact opposite happened. So what's going on? Our brains love things that make sense. They crave consistency. Hearing French music gets your brain thinking about France, so picking a French wine just feels right. It's an easy choice. And now we get to what might be the most powerful, most sneaky tool of them all, our sense of smell. Think about it. You can close your eyes, you can plug your ears, but you have to breathe. And smell has a direct VIP pass to the parts of your brain that handle memory and emotion. It's incredibly powerful.
At the end of the day, all a brand really wants is for you to remember them. And when it comes to memory, nothing, and I mean nothing, beats smell. Just look at this. A full year after experiencing a smell, we can still recall it with 65% accuracy. Our visual memory fades way faster. It's exactly why a random smell can instantly zap you back to your childhood kitchen.
Dunkin' Donuts decided to put this to the ultimate test in South Korea. They rigged up city buses with a special device. Every time the Dunkin' Donuts jingle played on the radio, this machine would spritz the aroma of fresh coffee into the air. The results were insane. A 16% jump in people visiting their stores and a 29% increase in coffee sales. Super effective, right? But it also raises a pretty serious question. Is it really okay to manipulate people like that in a public space without them even knowing? And some brands have allegedly gone even further. A French investigation accused McDonald's of using MRI machines to scan mothers' brains,
all to develop an artificial scent that would boost sales. Now, McDonald's France completely denies this, and that technique is totally illegal there anyway, but it really shines a light on a pretty serious ethical boundary. In some other countries, it's perfectly legal for a company to scan your brain for commercial reasons.
So, after all that, it is really easy to feel like we're just puppets and brands are pulling the strings. But here's the good news. We're not. It's actually way more complicated than that, and you have a lot more power than you might think.
As this expert points out, the connection between seeing an ad and actually buying something is, in his words, quite tenuous. And why is that? Because context is king. Your mood, the culture you live in, who you're shopping with, all these things are swirling around, which makes that kind of direct one-to-one manipulation really, really difficult to pull off.
So, what can you actually do about it? Well, here's a super simple but really powerful trick. The next time you're in a store and you feel that sudden, overwhelming urge to buy something, just pause. Don't say no, just say later. And then wait. Wait for about 20 to 30 minutes. That's all it takes for that initial emotional rush to die down and for your rational brain to climb back into the driver's seat and make the real decision. So we've seen how color, sound, and smell are constantly being used to nudge us in certain directions. But the thing is, now you know. You're aware of the techniques, which means you're not a passive target anymore. So I'll just leave you with this thought. Armed with all this new knowledge, what are you going to notice the next time you walk into a store?